Alright, y'all. So what's going on? Obviously, this is your boy Bruce Lee. Welcome back to the I Am Bruce Lee World channel once again. Now, for those that are wondering, what in the hell is this close-up ass format that you got going on? Well, I broke my tripod leaving that shit in my backpack, and I don't really have a lot of time to record. So, as a result, we're going to record like this with this little goddamn selfie stick I got. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. Before we get started with today's video, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, before I kick all of y'all asses. No, it's probably no, I do already. Follow me on all my social medias: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything that I am Bruce Leroy. Alright. Now, as always, as we always do every week, we do Eagles weekly, can't fucking talk. We do the Eagles weekly recap, alright? So we just got finished beating the Carolina Panthers 22-16. We're now 11-2. If I'm not mistaken, we officially clinched playoff berth. Now it's just about winning the NFC East, which I think that's more doable, and beating out Detroit, because Detroit got the Bills. So hopefully, because I like Josh, I like Josh Allen and Jared Goff. I like Detroit, but for the purposes of getting home field advantage, for the purpose of getting home field advantage, I'm really hoping and rooting for Buffalo to beat Jared Goff. So good luck to Josh Allen them next week. I really hope they could pull out a victory against the Lions. It's possible. Now, moving forward, there's a couple of like really teeny tiny things I want to speak about. It's not like a lot that really happened before this Panther game, outside a couple things. So first thing I want to talk about was something that kind of it's a little bit overdue, right? So for those that don't know, I am an Eagles fan. I've been an Eagles fan since the 2015-2016 season. Can't fucking talk. When Sam Bradford was the quarterback, DeMarco Murray was our running back, Ryan Matthews used to play for the Chargers, was our backup. I remember the whole spiel, right? That was Chip Kelly's last year. So that's when I became an Eagles fan. I've been an Eagles fan for roughly about, say, a little close to a decade now. So I've earned my stripes. Even though I flip-flopped as a child, I've earned my stripes. I think being an Eagles fan since 16 qualifies me as a real fan, because I'm 25 now, right? So, but I live in Chicago, okay? So, obviously, Bears fans, it's all that they're, you know, I said Bears fan, I'm stupid. The Bears are always on TV, right? So, here's the deal with Mark Trestman. Here's the thing. I'm not here to celebrate somebody losing their job, per se. What I am here to say, though, is this. He just not qualified for the job. Number one, I think he put his team in very bad situations. I mean, situational football is something that as a coach, like, fuck the X's and O's. Forget about whether your system works for the team or not. If you don't even know how to make the correct decisions in situational football, there's no way in the hell, forget about being a Bears head coach. You shouldn't be a head coach of anywhere, not even damn Pee-wee football, to literally be, like, in the, because if y'all remember, he got fired after the Thanksgiving game against Detroit because the Bears had an opportunity to win, and he chose not to call a timeout, right? And then some parts of the last drive, you could attribute it to someone being Caleb Williams' fault. So there was blame to go around, but him not calling a timeout in that situation was completely fucking egregious. And honestly, I'm not really a fan of the play calling. And to be quite honest with you, Caleb Williams is a guy that, to me, he needs all his full talents utilized. He needs to be under a younger guy like a Mike McDaniels or Sean McVay, somebody with a very innovative mindset for an offense, and can really allow Caleb Williams to do what he does, you know, improvise it and making big plays and utilizing that big arm to throw it out of the field. Because, you know, the way Caleb Williams play, I'm not comparing him to my GOAT, you know what I'm saying, my GOAT. I'm not comparing him to number 15 on the Kansas City Chiefs. But he's very Mahomes-like in the way his mechanics are to an extent. And I feel like the way Mahomes, I mean, the Chiefs run more or less the, how should I put it? They run more or less of a spread offense because they don't really have too many big play guys. DeAndre Hopkins is that guy, but he's kind of, he's a little bit past his prime. However, going back to the Bears situation, you're going to need a guy that can utilize all the talent that's at that facility. Whether DJ Moore's going to be back next year, we'll see what happens with that. You got Keenan Allen, one of the greatest route runners in NFL history. You got DeAndre Swift, who is a very effective runner when used correctly. And he's capable of catching at the backfield. You got Rome Odunze, a young, talented wide receiver. We'll see where, you know, how far he goes in his career. It's going to be very interesting moving forward. And they got Cole Kmet, who's a pretty damn good tight end and probably one of the more underrated players in the NFL. They just need a revamped offensive line. And to me personally, I think that if they get a play call that can utilize Caleb Williams' strengths as far as, you know, his play, you know, outside of the pocket, being able to make those big throws down the field and be explosive, I feel like the Bears are going to be in a good place. Because really, they just need to rebuild in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And I seriously think if they take care of the defensive line and the offensive line in this upcoming draft, I feel like they'll be in a really, really good place come next year. And they should, if they get into a wild card situation, they should win that game at the very least and get into the divisions. That's my expectations for the Bears going to next season if they find the right coach. He has to be an offensive-minded coach. I don't trust it to be a defensive-minded guy because really I think that the strength of this team, really, especially because there's so many missing pieces on that defense, there's some good guys like Jalen Johnson, maybe another secondary member or two. I don't remember off the top of my head. Montez Sweat is pretty good. You got T.J. Edwards, who's a Pro Bowl linebacker, and he's playing his ass off. He's playing even better in Chicago than he's played in Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, I thought he was great tackling. He just was terrible in coverage. But that's neither here nor there. But, you know, the Bears, I feel like they hired the right offensive-minded coach that can utilize all of Caleb Williams' abilities. I feel like the Bears would be a great place next year. Just draft in the trenches, defensive, offensive line all day. DT, DE, fucking all line, like every single line position you can think of on that offense, they need to completely revamp. All right. Now, going to a couple injuries, right? Britton Covey had a neck injury. I don't know when the hell this happened. Wish it before recovery, but you know, the whole thing was it kind of threw me off. I ain't gonna lie. And then it was a situation where, yes, Dallas Goedert is on IR. Yeah, so he has a knee injury. So he's on IR. He's out for the season. And here's the thing, right? I people say, oh, everybody needs to draft tight end in the first round. Everybody the Eagles, how we draft a tight end in the first round. Number one, we need defensive end a hell of a lot more. We need an edge rusher a hell of a lot more than we need tight end, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm not ready to throw Goddard away. Goddard, if healthy and if game planned correctly, is the third best tight end in the league. You don't just let somebody like that just walk out the fucking door, right? Now, granted, listen, I've been on this channel and I've been saying, yo, y'all bugging. He just happened to have some bad luck because people were doing dirty shit to him. It's kind of funny because it's like he's been injured a lot this year, and what I said normally happens to him hasn't happened. Not necessarily bad luck. He's just getting injured a lot. And now you're going to have to start thinking about the future of this football team moving forward. Okay? It's a scary thing. I had to make sure I go there. Okay, cool. So you got to think about the future of this team going forward. But I don't think that tight end right now. You can bring a solid veteran there. You can see if Austin Hooper's available or somebody solid that you can bring in to this offense. And here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna say something y'all not gonna agree with this, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I trust Calcaterra. I don't know why. I trust Calcaterra to be the starting tight end for our football team. I've seen him play when he starts. The blocking is going to have to develop. He is getting better in that department, so I'm not going to kill him over that. But I watched Calcaterra play. The biggest concern I've had with him playing the second string was not necessarily his talent, because his talent is clearly on display, is whether or not he can stay healthy long term. Because you got to remember, one of the knocks against him, and also we got to give Howie Roseman some credit. When did we draft Grant Calcaterra? 6th round, 7th round? We might have gotten him as an undrafted free agent. It was 1 or 2. I think we might have drafted him in like the super, super late rounds. Calcaterra is a baller, man. And I truly think if he can clean up his blocking and really get that polish, he can be a Pro Bowl tight end. And we can continue that streak of tight ends that we had. Brent Chelik. We had goddamn Zach Ertz. Dallas Goedert, and I think Calcaterra could fit right in. I don't think we need to draft a tight end. I just think we need a veteran who can play. We get ourselves a veteran who can actually play. I think we'll be fine. I don't know what the hell's going on with Alberto. I don't know why we haven't used him at all. That's just weird. I don't know if he's not good enough. Maybe he got scooped up in the practice squad somewhere. I have no freaking clue what's going on with Alberto. But that's a little weird why they haven't used him yet. But to me, worst case scenario, and listen, I'm not giving up on Goddard, but at the same time, my argument's kind of falling. Like I can't really defend bro anymore at this point in time. Again, I'm not blaming. Like, injuries happen. It is what it is. It sucks. I know at the end of the day when he's playing, he's outstanding. He makes some mistakes here and there, but he's definitely, when he's on point and the coaches are game planning to give him the ball, he's a top 3 tight end in this league without question. It's just unfortunate that, these injuries, like he can't just get injured and we just take it as, oh, he just injured. It's always got to be this big ass hoopla about, oh, see, he's made of glass. You can make this motherfucker into a sculpture, like next to some goddamn Christmas lights on National Lampoon and shit. Like, you can make this. You can put this motherfucker on the skating rink on Disney on Ice and shit. You can put him next to the decorations. Like, it's kind of sucks ass, but at the same time, it is what it is. I can't defend the guy no more. And for those that don't know why I'm not wearing a headband, I lost my fucking headband too. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, we're gonna get into the what Raheem's dead. Somebody shot him. But yeah, we're gonna get into this damn game, bro. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts first and foremost. Jalen Hurts, 14 for 21, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, and rushing, 8 rushes, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, he did have some big runs in the clutch, especially in that second half. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is definitely Jalen Hurts' worst game since the bye week. He was horrible. I'm not gonna and listen. I'm not like these other fans. A lot of these other fans want to say, "Oh yeah, forget him. He's not our quarterback one." I'm past that stage, right? It was getting to a point where he was playing so fucking bad that I was like, you know what? If somebody else got to be the guy and not him, then it is what it's got to be. But I'm under the impression, personally, I think Jalen Hurts is the guy. Not only do I think he is the guy, but here's the thing. You gotta, like, bro, you're in your 4th year in the league. This shit has to stop. And some of y'all saying, well, so we're going to talk about this. It's a whole debacle that starts. So first off, I want to address how I believe Jalen Hurts performed. I'm giving him a D+. He made some good plays. He made some good throws. But he single-handedly, a lot of people are blaming the play call and us not running the ball for Saquon, which I do agree to a very small extent. To a small extent, I feel like that we got a little bit too pass happy. However, I don't think all the plays were bad. I do disagree. I don't know if it was in the first half or the second half. On a 3rd down, we went in empty formation. And I think there was a penalty that stopped that from happening, but I don't know why the fuck that we went in empty. It makes no fucking sense to me. You're struggling passing the ball. It's 3rd and short yardage. Why the fuck are you on empty and 3rd down? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And if you got Hurts keep getting sacked in the backfield, he's holding on to the ball. Going in empty is probably the stupidest fucking thing you can possibly do because you're giving him a reason to hold on to the ball. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So, like, that shit frustrated me. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to blame the play calling as much, but here's what I will say. My favorite drive out of the whole ball game was the last drive of the 2nd quarter. Because that is exactly what should have been happening the whole fucking game. And I'm going to blame a little bit on the play call, but I'm going to blame Jalen Hurts a lot. Because Jalen Hurts, you are supposed... And here's the thing. I was defending this guy this weekend because a lot of y'all was saying outrageous shit. But I'm going to be honest with you. I can't defend him anymore, and I'm gonna tell you why, okay? When Saquon steps on that field, I know what I'm going to get out of Saquon. When A.J. Brown steps in that field, I know what I'm going to get out of A.J. Brown. When goddamn Devontae Smith's on the field, I know what I'm going to get out of him. When Landon Dickerson's on the field, I know what I'm getting out of him. Hell, Cam Jurgens is stepping up to be that guy. Mekhi Becton, for the most part. I never really seen a bad game out of Mekhi Becton, to be honest with you. And Jordan Mailata. So Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, AJ, and Devontae Smith, and Saquon. Those 5 guys I can count on that offense to be consistent every fucking game. And Goddard can sometimes be on some bullshit, but I'm not going to put him just on that level yet. But for the most part, those 5 guys, guaranteed, I can consistently rely on those guys to be like, you know what? Every single time they get on that football field, they are going to be at play their A game. They're gonna have a great game. It's very rare from those guys, and those guys they've had bad games before. Okay, it's harder to look on the offensive line. I think the Commanders game was a pretty good example of when Jordan Mailata played great, because I remember that's the game came back. I don't remember Jordan Mailata struggled in one of these games, and I seen it. Right, Dickerson, I think he struggled at center. I think it was a Buccaneer game. He struggled playing center. But other than that, like, I can't really recall a bad Dickerson game off the top of my head. And that's good. You know, as an offensive line, you don't really ever want to be mentioned. But those guys, Saquon, AJ, Devontae, you know, those guys, I can consistently rely on those guys to be like, you know, every time they play, they're going to play, they're going to have a great game, or they're going to play their best. I can't say the same for Jalen Hurts. And I'm not going to act like some of these dumbass fans be like, oh no, how we draft another quarterback? He's not the guy. Jalen Hurts, I'm not off the Jalen Hurts bandwagon train, but I'm very irritated at this point in time because I truly don't know what Jalen Hurts I'm going to get. And at this point in time, I'm really sick and tired of this shit. Like, there are things sometimes you can't control. Sometimes the play call doesn't help him out. And I think the last drive of the second quarter was how the rest of the game should have went, because it was short, quick passing. It allowed Jalen Hurts to get the ball out of his hands. And as you can see, when that started happening, it was working. Now, going back to Jalen Hurts, brother, fuck the shit that you can't control. We're talking basic football fundamentals. We're talking about quarterback fundamentals. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if he's being not taught correctly on what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know. It could be both. But I'm sick of Jalen Hurts he's repeating the same fucking mistakes he did last year, 2021. At some point in time, bro, you got to keep getting better year after year. You can't keep repeating the same shit you did in the past. That's weird. Like, bro, when there's nothing open, they got to have a clock in your head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, I don't know, Mama's barbecue, I don't know, like, fuck, like, keep the main thing, like, shit, like, I don't know, what are your goddamn catchphrases, you know what I'm saying? I had a purpose before you had an opinion. One of them motherfuckers, say one of them bitches in your head, like, RESPECT1, like, you know what I'm saying? Say one of them shits in your head, you know what I'm saying? But goddamn, bro, like Jalen Hurts, you gotta start being consistent. There's a reason why niggas ain't giving you credit. It ain't got nothing to do with him being a black quarterback. I do think that some of the opinions that stem from their assessment of him have something to do with that. But really, I say 99% of the criticism on Jalen Hurts is because this motherfucker, and no disrespect, I gotta keep it real. You don't know what Jalen Hurts. You don't know what Jalen Hurts you're gonna get every Sunday. You just don't. I don't know if I'm going to get a Jalen Hurts that's going to do a great job of managing the game, make the big throws down the field like he did in 2022, or I'm going to get a motherfucker that's going to hold on to the ball too long, not understand that when there's nothing open down the fucking field, check the ball down, not staring at fucking A.J. Brown all day to try to give him the ball, not abandon the pocket too early. Like, these things just keep coming up over and over and over again, and I'm really sick of this shit, bro. At some point in time, there got to be a level of consistency where you would rarely have a bad game. If you want me to stay there and be honest with you, I don't know what Jalen Hurts I'm gonna get every Sunday, and this is the truth. And I'm tired of this shit, bro, because there's no excuses. You have the greatest offensive roster in NFL history. Okay, now obviously Kelsey's better than Jurgens, but Jurgens can play center and right guard, so he's not too far off just yet. He's not Kelsey exactly, but he's not too far off just yet. But however, there got to be a level, if you're going to be an elite quarterback, we're going to consider an elite quarterback, there has to be a level of consistency of elite play. That's what I see out of Mahomes for the most part, even though Mahomes be throwing some dumbass turnovers for no reason at times, especially the regular season. As Josh Allen this year, like for the most part, I say like all his years, but definitely this year. Burrow, even though Burrow got to translate his performances to wins, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, those guys I consistently can say they're going to have great games. I can't say the same thing for Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to say, oh, we need a new quarterback, but you got to get your shit together. AJ Brown, like, you know, what's going on with the team, whatever. And he said passing. Now, here's the thing about the AJ Brown situation. All right. Listen, I understand Devontae Smith and AJ Brown they are the epitome of being professionals. Okay. Some of the most unselfish guys you could ever have on a team. Probably some of the most unselfish superstars you could ever have on your team. They're all about team first. But I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. I don't give a fuck I don't care how unselfish you are. When you're elite and you're a top 10 wide receiver in this league, you know that every time you get the ball in your hands, you're a game changer. It's going to get to you after a while. Even if we're winning. Like, I remember it was a Giants game where AJ Brown got frustrated in the playoffs. I think it was in 2022. I don't care how good you are. Shit is going to happen. Especially when you got a quarterback who is not understanding in his head. And a lot of y'all were saying, oh, you know, why should he force throws that wasn't open? They were open. He just has to get in his mind. He has to process shit a little quicker than what he's doing. He's taking all fucking day to read shit. That's the problem. It's not in his head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Nobody's open. Check it down. That's not what. It's not what how Jalen Hurts is operating. He's like, they're not open yet. They're not open yet. They're still not open yet. Motherfucker, if they're not open, run the ball or goddamn check the fucking ball down. I don't know how many times I've seen Saquon and Calcaterra sitting, or maybe AJ Brown on the open side. Like the AJ Brown was open. So all y'all saying, oh, he should force the ball down the field. No, he was open. All Jalen Hurts had to do was just throw the ball on time. And there was some throws that he made that, like, the guys like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown were open, but he threw the goddamn ball too late. So instead of it being like a big game, like a first down, maybe a touchdown in the red zone, it would end up being like he caught the ball and he got tackled immediately because he's taking all day to fucking process the information around the field. And again, it shouldn't be happening. This is his 4th year. He got the best roster in NFL history. Bro, enough of the fucking excuses. Enough. Yeah, I'm tired of the excuses, bro. You gotta play consistently. It should be like 1 in every 6 games you play bad, not 1 in every goddamn maybe 3 or 4. That's not good. That's not consistent. How can I call you an elite quarterback if I don't know what type of quarterback I'm getting? You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's just it's weird. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. Okay, so here's the thing about with AJ Brown, right? I understand his frustration. I understand that Jalen Hurts didn't play his best game. But you know this very well because they had a target on your back all of last year. They wanted to try to label you a diva. You know how Philadelphia media works. You know how the mainstream media works. You know how this happens. You know that Jalen Hurts isn't really loved by everybody outside of Eagles fans. You know this. Okay? Some people want to give him his credit. Most people are not. Okay? This is the truth. Some people are going to call him an A.J. Brown merchant. He's overrated. He's not good. Doesn't have good pocket presence. And all this other dumb shit people be saying, right? He's not that good quarterback. The talent is carrying him, and all this other bullshit. So you know this, okay? You know this definitely more than I do. You're on the team, bro. Anything you have to say to Jalen Hurts, come up to Jalen Hurts and say it. Don't out your quarterback like that. Because now you're giving the media a reason to be in your face. Don't do that, bro. If you have an issue of any kind with Jalen Hurts, talk to that brother about it. And if he's your friend, he's somebody that's really close to you, because I heard he's the godfather of your child, bro, come talk to the nigga, bro. Go talk to him. You and him and Devontae Smith, and somebody said, well, Devontae Smith would have did, I would have had a problem. I think it was like, I forgot which content creator said it, but like, it might make no sense because the same relationship, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts might be a little bit closer, but Devontae Smith is also close with Jalen Hurts. If you see them, they're always praying together before games. So they're all 3 of those guys are definitely close. But here's the thing. Go talk to Jalen Hurts about it. Behind closed doors. Hell, even talk to him on the sidelines. But don't ever try to... He didn't say anything particularly terrible, but like you just gotta. He knows the game, man. Because they try to paint him as a diva the whole fucking year last year. The whole year last year, from the beginning of the season to the end, and even in our goddamn off season. The whole year they try to paint him as a diva. So you know what they did to you. You also had you also majored in journalism, but you know this shit. So dude, go up to your homie who just happened to be your quarterback and let him know, hey man, I'm gonna need you to be a little better when it comes to you reading the field. Hey man, now you need to process things a little faster because I'm open on these slants, bro. Just have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame Devontae Smith and AJ for being frustrated, but and again, like I said, they're most team-friendly guys you could have, especially being superstars. Most team-friendly guys you could have on your roster. But you know, I do agree that it's going to at some point fester, especially if you barely beat a team that technically under most circumstances you're supposed to blow out. But it is what it is. Brandon Graham, I love you, Brandon Graham. So I'm not gonna go off on you too much. Brandon Graham, what you did talking to the media like that, and you the guy, and I don't mean no disrespect by the way either when I say this, because every real Eagles fan fuck with BG. I love BG, but BG, bro, the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, sir? My guy, come on now. Why in the hell would you tell people like, man, listen, what the fuck he say? He was like, yeah. I know him and AJ, Jalen Hurts, he said number one is trying, but they gotta be able to talk to each other. And you know what I'm saying, because they used to be friends, but I don't really know the whole details of everything, but you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, because but AJ Brown, I don't know why I started studying like that. I sound like a fucking old man on his deathbed. Fucking dumb stuttering ass bitch. But anyway, outside of me cursing out myself, going back to the situation, I'm like, bro, like, BG, what is you doing? So now, because of what you did, you made the situation worse, and you out of everybody should know better because you've been on this team the longest. Okay? You the vet on this team. You the leader, bro. You're like the last guy when Kelsey retired. Lane's still there, so, Lane's also another leader. Kelsey retired. Fletch retired. You that last guy on the defense that's the leader. Like, you're the rock that holds everything down. You know what I'm saying? You like the Draymond on Golden State, bro. Listen. You can't do shit like that, man. Because now the reports are not going to be asking nonstop questions. Is there really a rift between you and AJ? Is there something personal going on outside of football? And here's the thing, okay? I'm hoping that it's just one of those situations where Jalen needs to play better. I'm hoping it's not a situation that happened outside of that. And here's the thing, right? I'm kind of tied because on one end, objectively speaking, I don't think I want to say Bruce Leroy. I don't think Brandon Graham should reveal that information. But on the flip side, it's kind of like, oh snap, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, as somebody who does content and you want to be entertained, it's like it's great for entertainment. But realistically speaking, being objective, she should have revealed it. He did apologize, but the damage is kind of already done. They're gonna continue to just keep badgering them with questions, and that's just what it's gonna be. But Jalen Hurts needs to play better. It starts with him. It's really his fault. And AJ and Devontae, if they're frustrated for whatever reason, and I understand why. I get it. They have to go up to their quarterback and they got to talk to him. If they can't talk to the leader of the goddamn football team, somebody they're supposed to be tight with, then that's a problem within itself. You feel what I'm saying? So they got to go and they got to talk to that man. Now, going back to everybody. So, congratulations to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, I think it's about 430-something yards away from having a 2,000-yard season. I'm hoping he cracks it, fingers crossed. He passed LaShawn McCoy for getting the most yards by an Eagles running back in a single season. So congratulations to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley had 20 carries, 124 yards, 6.2, no touchdowns, and no receptions. So, but Saquon had a good day. Obviously you always can rely on Saquon. Going back to the other receivers, Calcaterra had a fantastic game. I thought he was great, which is why I say you don't need to draft a tight end. Go get you a reliable vet. And in worst case scenario, if Goddard has to go, which I'm not throwing Goddard away because I still think he's still elite. He just got to stay healthy. Calcaterra is right there. I think he's more than capable of being a starting tight end for our future. And that's just my opinion. Okay. Dehan Dotson had a reception, I guess. I think, did Johnny Wilson play? I don't remember. if I'm not mistaken, Johnny Wilson had a situation where there was a oh yeah, by the way, the refs missed a bullshit face mask call on Calcaterra. So the refs are the refs are on bullshit again. They called an ineligible man down the field. I forgot who it was on, and I didn't like the call much. Yeah, I think Johnny Wilson. I think Jalen Hurts had like a little bit of a high throw. It's a tad too high for Johnny Wilson. I don't know what happened with that one. So I think if I'm not mistaken, he did play. So yeah, I think that's it for the offense. But honestly, this game is on Jalen Hurts. He needs to be better, and it's not about being better. I need consistent production. It's very inconsistent. And everybody's going to say, well, Saquon's been getting the ball, so that's why he's not getting consistent production. No fucking excuses. Because if you're elite, you're elite. If you're not, then you just go out and find somebody else, okay? So let's go to the defense, okay? Nakobe Dean, I'm not going to say he played bad. I like the effort. He wasn't perfect. He missed some tackles. Zach Baum played pretty good. I was impressed with him. By the way, I didn't get a chance to watch the first quarter because I was busy as fuck. But second quarter and up, I watched the entirety. Yeah. So Darius Slay, again, there was a situation where he let the receiver get behind him 2 miles, and I think that Seth Joyner was a little bit harder on the guy because if you ask me, Darius Slay was the best player on the field on Sunday. By far the best player on the field. Making plays when the team needed him the most, coming through in the clutch. And to keep it real with you, that probably was the best game I've seen him play since the motherfucking the Patriots game in week 1 of last year. If y'all remember, big play Slay, he lived up to that. Like, he played really good. Again, he let Legette get behind him. I think some of that is on. Matter of fact, you gotta really blame Chauncey on that one too, because you know that the help is there. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, I think Seth Joyner was way too hard on Darius Slay. I thought he had a terrific game. I thought 100% he was the best defensive player on that field, and in my opinion, the MVP of that game, hands down. So Darius Slay, salute to you. Listen, I'm gonna keep real with you. Darius, sorry, my fault. My apologies. I'm sorry if I'm wrong foot. I apologize. Slay, big play Slay. I think you're a good dude, man. You be doing some weird shit that's just kind of like some head scratching shit, but I fuck with you. I've been critical on you on this channel, but you low key having a pretty damn good year. You have your way of leading. I don't think that you made the right decision throwing Chauncey under the bus, whether you meant to do it or didn't mean to do it. Like that's not the right decision you made. But I fuck with Slay, man. But he be frustrating the fuck out of it because he be doing some shit that's just like why? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, bro, like you know what I'm saying? Like he be frustrating from time to time. But at the end of the day, what he's shown me these last couple games, especially this game right here. Well, actually, he didn't play because Rodgers was playing at Baltimore. But what he's shown me this year is that when push comes to shove and the team needs him the most, he's going to compete. And I really like how he makes an effort to tackle. He makes an effort to break the pass up in coverage. And a lot of times, they be calling some bullshit PI calls on Slay for no apparent reason. So I don't be liking the call they be making on Slay. I think Slay be doing a good job in coverage. I think the refs just like throwing the fucking flag on him for no reason. So I think that'd be bullshit. Cooper DeJean, up and down performance, but again, and this is what everybody gotta understand. Quayon Mitchell even messed up a couple times in his run pursuit. These are rookies at the end of the day, okay? They're elite rookies, but they're still rookies, okay? So everybody got to chill out with being so hard on them. They're allowed to have a not-so-great game or a game where you can look at it and be like, you know what? That wasn't your best game. You made a lot of mistakes, but you can clean. They're rookies, bro. They're not in their second, third year. They're not really in their third year. Third year, in year 3, you should have your shit together. But first year, like, bro, like, and literally, Quayon wasn't starting CB1 day 1. Cooper DeJean came in the middle. I think he missed like 3-4 games. So the fact that they're playing at the way they're playing, I didn't even expect to be playing as well as they did right off rip. So everybody got to take it easy on those guys. Learning experience for both of them, to be honest with you, moving forward. So J.L.X. Hunt did make a big play as well, and Avonte Maddox did have a situation where he did a good job of downing the punt. By the way, Braden Mann is low-key. He's either the best punter in the league or he's top 3. Braden Man is probably even a reason why I wanted the punt guy. He's having a all right season. Bro, this dude Braden Man is top, is at least at the very, I think he's the best. But if I'm going to be on the safe side, because I'm not sure about all the punters, I'm going to say he's top 3 this year. Like, Braden Man is legit. Like, one of the best, one of the most sneaky good, probably the most underrated Howie Roseman acquisition. Like, Braden Man is really fucking good. So shout out to Avonte Maddox. I don't like the way he played, but, you know, I have to give credit when credit's due. He made a great play on down and on special teams. Okay. Tristan McCullum did make a mistake in coverage on that 2-minute drill drive. For sure. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he did get a big interception. He made some plays. He did get a big hit. I thought his coverage was a little bit sloppy in the second half. But you don't know, man. That man could have been concussed. Because I'm telling you right now, I have a ton of respect for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Even though he might have low-key almost caused it as a game, he played his heart out. And for him to keep coming back in a game when he was getting fucked up, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Chauncey. Like I said, he's like the NFL Russell Westbrook. He's not going to always make all the right decisions all the time, but I'm telling you right now, he elevates everybody around him. He gives 110% effort on every fucking play, and he demands that out of everybody. And literally just by him yelling at motherfuckers in the Baltimore game, the whole defense got their shit together. So salute Chauncey for the fucking heart, the grit, and toughness that he displayed on Sunday. Because I know that shit wasn't easy, bro. I mean, after the first injury shit, I probably would have been, man, fuck this shit. I ain't going back in. So he went back in off a concussion. And I think you know, Zach Bond ran into him on, I think it was the fourth quarter. But Chauncey got back in and was trying to make plays. So shout out to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I ain't got nothing bad to say about that guy. He showed toughness. He showed that he gave a fuck about this team. Jalen Carter had a pretty good game too. Fuck up the camera. Shout out to Jordan Davis because he made a big play chasing down Bryce Young, who's like 186. By the way, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I gotta give credit where credit is due, bro. Bryce Young, I don't know if I ever talked shit about him before. I don't think I have. Bryce Young, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what the fuck Rod Wave said to you. I don't know, it's like, but just in case you would, I can't explain. I don't know, the nigga was like, over my dead body. I don't know. I don't know if he like, what's love to a broken heart? No one got to know your part. I don't know what this nigga sung to him. I don't know what the fuck. Like, last sad song. I don't know what the fuck this nigga sung to him. I don't know. This nigga gave him some free concert tickets. I don't know what this nigga did. I don't know if he sent some girls over to this nigga crib. Once I let him know, like, hey, yo, you still a man over here. I don't know what the fuck Rod Wave told this dude. But Bryce Young is playing. Listen, fuck the counting stats. 190. I'm telling you, Bryce Young was making some big throws down the field, and I'm keeping it real with you. If it wasn't for Xavier Legette, squirrel meat eating ass, dropping past, this thing got the nerve to accept no accountability. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm gonna keep it real with you. People, the Eagles fans not gonna admit it, but I'm gonna say it. If Legette caught that ball and would have scored, because he would have rolled into the end zone, we would have 100% lost that game. 100% lost. For sure. Like no bullshit, we would have lost. So thank you, Xavier Legette. Guess who ass ain't getting no squirrel meat? Yo ass, nigga. Straight up turkey sandwiches. Some goddamn ham and mayonnaise and sandwich spread. You're gonna eat like a regular human being, nigga. Ain't no raccoon, no squirrel meat, nigga. You ain't gonna eat no goddamn beaver, motherfucker. Straight up turkey sandwiches, nigga. Ham and cheese. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Grilled cheese sandwiches. Eat like a fucking normal human being. Ain't gonna be no motherfucking pigeons, no goddamn donkey ass, no turkey ass, none of that shit, nigga. regular peanut butter, regular shit for your ass, nigga. Ain't no be no goddamn deer, nigga, no roebuck, no goddamn moose, no motherfucking goddamn bison, nigga. Ain't gonna be none of that shit. We regular ass turkey meat for your ass, nigga. Hillside Farms, go meet. Let's see. Fuck. Hillside Farms, go meet. But yeah, Xavier Legette, his ass was selling like this nigga was at an auction, bro. I mean, this motherfucker, bro, like, this nigga was selling all his personal belongings. This nigga was probably selling his goddamn, his baby pictures and shit. That nigga was selling like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Like, god damn, he was selling it. Like, bro, I mean, listen, you know, I don't know who the fuck was buying it, but he was selling like a motherfucker on multiple occasions. And literally, he dropped that game-winning touchdown. This nigga had nerve to say, yo, I thought I caught it. You didn't catch it. You dropped it on the ground, bro. The refs made the right call. You dropped it. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, if Xavier would have got in, there was no way in the hell he was gonna win that game. I'm gonna keep it. People not gonna say it. People are afraid to say it, but I'm gonna say it. We wouldn't have won that game. But shout out to Bryce Young. He played a hell of a game. I don't give a fuck about the count. Instead, this man is making some big time throws down the field. I really don't want him in Carolina. I want him in a better situation where he could thrive. Like somewhere like in New York where he get weapons around it. Hell, if Shador can't go to New York on the not the fucking Giants, the Jets, yo, go put him on there. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you don't like Daniel Jones or whatever, you don't feel comfortable with J.J. McCarthy, you don't want to re-sign Sam Darnold, bro, go bring Bryce Young over in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Or hell, maybe Pittsburgh could go get her. If they don't want to re-sign Russell Wilson or Justin Fields for whatever, yo, go bring Bryce Young over in Pittsburgh. I would love to see him play with George Pickens and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, shout out to them. And also, I give a lot of respect because he played good and he only had that dude Hubbard, and Hubbard was whooping our ass a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Hubbard was the only running back they had. All the other running backs were injured, but he ended up playing pretty good, man. But yeah, and I honestly, the biggest thing for me, Fangio's play calling was fucking terrible all game. I mean, and I'll take his point. The last drive was fucking horrific. Explain to me why you don't blitz not one time, but he blitzes on a time where it makes sense to keep guys back. He doesn't. He does an all-out blitz, and literally because of his dumbass play calling, Xavier Legette almost won the fucking game. Why are you calling an all-out blitz when they're literally past? Like, you call an all-out blitz when their back was against the wall by the end zone. That makes sense. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Fangio called his worst game. A lot of people want to say the players or whatever, but Fangio called his worst game since the bye week. Like, that was fucking horrible. That was a terrible job. Again, I apologize to Fangio and I stand on it, but I'm not gonna go with for the fact that he had a terrible fucking like awful like his play calling that game against Carolina, god awful, like terrible job on Fangio, 100%. This almost loss is definitely he definitely deserves some of the blame for sure. Wrapping things up, let's talk about Jake Elliott, and I'm gonna say something else because I didn't get a chance to speak about this in the Ravens game. Let's talk about Justin Tucker. We're gonna tie it to everything as well. Jake Elliott. We got a problem. I see this, everybody say, oh, you know, Jake Elliott back. And I'm like, bro, Baltimore, he was kicking chip shot ass field goals. Them bitches wasn't like listen, if he started making 40, 50 yarders, then we had a conversation. We could have a conversation if he started making 40. But the nigga wasn't even making no 40 yarders, bro. The nigga was doing chip shot ass field goals. So I didn't understand where everybody was coming from. Oh, yeah. No, Joey Shakes, I fuck with you. Philly 500, I fuck with you. But when y'all say he was back, I'm like, bro, the nigga was hitting chip shot ass field goals. The nigga didn't even hit not one at least 40 yarder for me to even consider be like, okay, he might be back type shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jake Elliott, this is a problem. We might need a new kicker. And everybody say, well, you know, what happened to all the time that, you know, goddamn, what's the nigga name? Jake Elliott, you know, kicked for us in the big moments and hit a 60-yarder and got a Super Bowl for it. What happened to you was just throw all that away. Let me tell you something right now, and this is the honest to God's truth. When a kicker hits a slump, they don't get better. They just get worse. I'm going to say this one more time. It's going to go over all y'all heads. When kickers get in a slump, they don't get better. They get worse. This is the honest to God's truth. I'm not BSing y'all. This is the truth. They don't get better. So it looks like Jake Elliott, his time is ticking. And this is really bad because if we need a playoff victory, his missed field goals can cost us bad. So it's not good. Even to the point where we would normally send Jake Elliott out on like a 50-something yarder. Sirianni purposefully decided to take a delay of game to move back to go punt the ball. That tells you a lot right then and there. This is not good I know it's not a lot of options out here, but bro, we need to get this shit corrected, because if Elliott can cost us a Super Bowl trip, or Elliott can cost us a game where if we're in a Super Bowl, we got to win by a field goal. Excuse me. He can lose that game by not hitting the field goal. So this is not, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know if it's because Sirianni be going for two so much. I don't know if it's something personal in his life that Jake Elliott going through, and I pray that hopefully it is, that he get through it. But Elliott is starting to look like he's not going to be in Philadelphia much longer. Because like I said, kickers don't get better. When they hit a slump like that, and it's not like a one-off game, it's a consistent slump like that, I've never heard of a story where a kicker be kicking like dog shit for an extended period of games and they get better. It almost never happens. And this brings me to my last point before we wrap up. Justin Tucker, my favorite kicker of all time. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think this year damaged his legacy. And Justin Tucker, you my favorite kicker. Still is. But I'm going to keep it real with you. He's not the best kicker of all time anymore. Think about it like this. He got a slump when he's only 35. Detroit fans, I know he don't get talked about, but Jason Hansen is one of the greatest kickers of all time. That nigga retired when he was like 43 years old. Adam Vinatieri had great years in New England and had great years in goddamn motherfucking what's the new team? Indianapolis. Robbie Gould, much I don't like him talking shit. Like, I respected him because he was a Bear. He was really good. When he started doing all that shit talking about us, whatever, I lost respect for the nigga. He has a great, long, illustrious career. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Who the GOAT kicker of all time? It has changed. Adam Vinatieri is the greatest kicker of all time. And I'm going to tell y'all why before I start going crazy. Because I said, well, isn't Tucker the most accurate kicker in NFL history? Well, not anymore. Because, you know, this season's terrible for him. Here's the thing. If it wasn't for Adam Vinatieri, Brady wouldn't have had... Brady's Super Bowl total would be cut in half. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe four of those Super Bowls that Brady got was because of Vinatieri's kicking. So he's kicked in the biggest moment. You don't get a moment bigger than the Super Bowl. So he kicked in the biggest moments over and over again in the biggest game you could ever have as a football player. And he's extended his great kicking in Indianapolis. He was on Indianapolis for a hot minute. So you talk about somebody who's came up big in the biggest moment, the biggest game, over and over again, and literally handed the greatest quarterback of all time 3 out of his 4 Super Bowls. I'm sorry, I gotta admit, Vinatieri's the GOAT, man. It's not Tucker no more. And you think about it like this, well, Tucker's the greatest accurate kicker, but Tucker ain't really get to that many big games like that. You know, you don't get a bigger game than the Super Bowl now. And for somebody to come up big, not in 1 Super Bowl, not in 2, but 3, maybe 4, that's just in the argument right there. On top of that, he had a luscious career, and he retired, I think he was 48 years old. I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is a little theory I got in my head. I think the reason why the NFL decided to make the PAT attempt, the 20-yard line, because they got tired of niggas like David Akers and Jason Hansen. You know, even though they get paid that much, that money add up. And they got tired of paying kickers. So they're like, yo, fuck it, man. Hey, yo, we gonna do shit so we can retire. They even added some stupid-ass kickoff rules where you get a touchback, it's on a 35. So what the NFL is doing is they trying to cut their expenses by not trying to pay kickers as much, by getting them out the league. That's why they make, instead of having on like the 2-yard line or some shit, 5-yard line, like whatever, I forgot where the PAT attempt used to be. I think it was on the 2 or 1 yard line. Now they got the motherfucker at the 25 because they try to retire these kickers, bro. They try to retire. They ain't got time to be paying a motherfucker $500,000 for 25 years. That shit add up, bro. Like, hell no, nigga. You ain't no quarterback, bro. You ain't giving us no ratings. We ain't giving your ass free money, but all your ass do is kick. So the NFL think they slick, but they not. So we done, man. That's all I gotta say. I I'll see y'all after the Pittsburgh game. If I decide to put up any content, which most likely ain't gonna happen, I'll let y'all know. But y'all enjoy the rest of the day, man. I'm out of here. Peace.